Hello, good afternoon. It's Monica from Life is Art, and we are here with the Friday 3:30 p.m. demo at the 007 online crop. We are going to be doing some scrapbooking, and we're going to be using Hey Handsome and some Picture My Life cards and a few other things. Sometimes when I do demos with Picture My Life cards, I stick to just the Picture My Life cards, but today we're going to be mixing in a few things because I want you to see that they're not just a standalone thing. They can be used in combination with other things in the collection. So we're looking at the April to June catalog, and the featured collection for the entire month of May is Hey Handsome, and there we go, gorgeous masculine designs, but can work for a lot of different things as well. And so today we're going to be using some of the stickers. We're going to use some cardstock, some embellishments, some Picture My Life cards. And so that's what we're going to be creating with today. And also we're going to be using the scrapbooking stamp set as well. And this is a really nice stamp set. And I think we did the card yesterday that had the looking good inside of it, and we also did a layout that had the this image, the premium quality, authentic, always original. And so today we're going to be using limited edition. We've also used the stars before, so we're working our way around the scrapbooking stamp set, and it's really interesting because a lot of these can also be used on cards. It's called a scrapbooking stamp set, but really they're a nice size. They could be used on cards, and they work for things other than masculine layouts, right? They can totally be used for other things. Loving this little camera. So many good things. All right, so let's close this up. And the base page that we're going to be starting with is one of the cardstocks that coordinates with this Hey Handsome collection, and it is Harbor. And I'm actually going to be using the light side of Harbor. So this is the dark side of Harbor, but if I just sort of roll it over here, you will see that the opposite side is the light side. So the dark side is the true color, and then the back side is a lighter version. And I decided to go with the lighter side today, even though probably the dark side is my favorite color. But it just works out better for what I'm creating. Hey Heather, nice to see you're watching. Misty and Linda, hello, good afternoon. And the photo that I'm going to be using for this layout is one that my husband printed off a while ago. It's actually a photo that my son Justin took while he and my husband were out on a little photo adventure one afternoon. And this would have been, Justin, my son, would have been maybe about 11 when he took this photo, and I think this might have been in Chinguacousy Park here in Brampton, if memory serves me correctly. And so I thought it was just a really unique photo, and it's one that my husband actually printed as a 5x7 and has been sitting here waiting for me to do something with it. It may have been entered in the fair at one point up in Beaverton, but I think it's just a really cool photo because my husband was really into photography for a long time, and he's really good at it. So I thought it's sometimes hard to get pictures of the photographer, right? Any of you who are moms know you take lots of pictures of your kids and things, and then there's no pictures with you. And it's the same. Whoever the photographer is usually never gets in the photo. So I really like this photo. And so that's what I'm going to be using today. And because it's a 5x7, it really can stand on its own on a single page layout. Hey Michelle, nice to see you're watching. And so let me just pull in the Picture My Life cards here so you can take a look at them. Each of the collections in the catalog comes with PML cards, or Picture My Life cards. And these are great for pocket scrapbooking. They're great for adding to cards. They're great for adding to Pocket Plus pages, adding on to layouts, and just doing scrapbooking in general with them. And so you get two different sizes of cards in the pack. You get 4x6s and you get 3x4s. And so let me just quickly flip through. You'll see that each side is printed and they're slightly different. So one will be a different color, one will be a different orientation, and that one's upside down. But again, it goes, you know, 2 different directions. So you have a little bit of choice. I'm going to do all of these upside down probably. Let me flip them around. About how you want them to be used, right? So there's bicycle, 2 different ways. This one looks like sort of circuit board type stuff. Here's one that looks like a postcard, like father, like son, hey dude, and some glasses. And it actually looks like these are sitting on top of like a hardcover book, you know, the old nubbly hardcover books. And then we also have one that I've set aside for my for my layout today. That's a nice little check. And then we have the 4x6 cards. So we have Jack of all trades, Master at heart, and of course 2 different directions. And you get 12 of each size. And certified devoted friend, the rules of being a gentleman. Oops, that's 2 cards. There we go. So some of them have gorgeous sentiments on there. Some of them are beautiful designs. Others have icons. Quite a lot of the time I end up fussy cutting some of these. There's wild and free. Nice little journaling spots. There's a cute little tag. And different patterns that aren't in the paper collection. So I like them for that because it really expands what you can do with your collection when you have these cards. And a lot of times I think people look at them and they go, oh, they're just little. Like what can I do with them? Because they're just little. They're not even a 6x6. But there is a lot you can do. So let me show you what I have planned. I'm going to start by grabbing this Picture My Life card, and I'm grabbing my little photo trimmer. And what I want to do is I want to make this span the width of my page. Now you think, okay, well, how are you going to do that? And the trick is to know where you're going to place other things. And so I'm going to have my 5x7 photo in amongst this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this at 4 inches on one side and 2 inches on the other, right like that. And then I'm just going to spread them across the page. I'm going to start about 3.5 inches up from the bottom. 3.5, yeah, we'll go with 3.5. 3.5 inches up from the bottom. And I'm just going to spread it out like this. And that gives you the impression, once you put something else on top, that you have a strip of paper that's going right across. But all you had was one little Picture My Life card. So let me just grab my adhesive here and we'll stick this down. Let me know in the comments, are you a fan of Picture My Life cards? Have you tried them? What do you generally use them for? Do you use them for pocket journaling, pocket scrapbooking, or do you do regular scrapbooking, mini albums? These are great when you're doing a 6x8 album. My goodness, you can just practically do a whole album with one Picture My Life card pack because it's just the right size. Now I had a thought that I was going to do some distressing on this page. And so I'm just kind of deciding right now whether I'm going to go with that idea or not. Because I would probably want to do that first. Now that I've already got some paper on there. I was thinking about doing some sanding around the edges. And I think I will give it a little go. I'm not going to do a lot. So what I like to do for my sanding is I actually move my paper right to the edge of my Versamat. And that allows me to kind of get in here and use some sandpaper, or in this case I'm using an emery board, and just go ahead and add a little bit of distressing along the edges. I can even do it on the pattern paper, but you got to make sure you get a clean part of the emery board so you're not transferring any of the blue from the harbor. Gonna line this up and go ahead. And you can do as much or as little distressing as you want. I'm just kind of doing just right along the edge. And then turn again. Just work my way around. It's pretty quick and easy to do this. I find this is even a little bit quicker than using a distressing tool or my scissors on the edge of my paper. I find this actually goes faster, weirdly enough. And the edge of the Versamat really helps because it gives you some space for your hand and it protects your table from getting scratched. Not that my table is any, you know, fantastic prize. It's been around. It's had its day, but it does keep it from getting scratched up. So that's good. And then I'll flip over and use the other side for this pattern paper. Just give it a little scufferoo. There we go. Nice. Now we've got a little bit of dust going on there. We'll just kind of leave it there. We'll leave it there for now. The other thing that I was thinking I would do, and I'll go ahead and do that before I add anything else, is that I was thinking of adding some white acrylic gloss spray. And for this, you need to give it a good shake. And you want to try and shake up. There's a little ball in the bottom that's going to start rattling around. But I was shaking it earlier today when we were doing Chat and Craft, and it was not rattling around. So it's gotten itself stuck down in there somewhere. But what I should bring in my all-purpose mat before I make a big mess. You know, that's always a smart thing to do when you're going to start throwing some acrylic splatter paint around. Of course, I'm wearing a brand new shirt to do this. That's always wise. You know, put on your best new shirt before you decide to do some spraying or splattering. So what I want to do is I don't actually use the sprayer on this. I just take the little wand and do some drippy droppy splattering this way. And you just give a little tap and it drops and adds some texture to what's going on. I don't even care if I get it on my my pattern paper. I'll put a few over there and some kind of going right off the edge down here. Just like that. Okay, that's good. Good. Now that's going to need just a moment to dry because it's acrylic paint. I've got some on my hand. But I don't think I've got any on my shirt. So let me just lift this up and I will quickly wipe off any that got on my Versamat. Not my Versamat, my all-purpose mat. And there we go. Easy peasy to clean that off. And with an all-purpose mat, you want to store it rolled up or flat. And so if you're short on space like I am, you just roll it up. And one thing you want to avoid is having it get crunched. You don't want any creases in it because it will make a crack. And then the inks and things that you put on it when you're creating will get stuck down in there. And you won't be able to wipe it off because it's stuck down in there. So where are we going now? Oh, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. This is also one of the Picture My Life cards that I didn't show you because I was too busy chit-chatting. So this one has sort of a nice little file folder edge on it. So I thought what I would do is I would just go ahead and trim this, fussy cut it out, and just kind of go right on the edge of that gray. It doesn't matter if a little bit of the background paper is showing because I think it's really going to blend into my base page. So it's not going to be a big deal. And we'll just trim around there like that. And then I was thinking I might also sort of round these top corners. Just give them a little, I'm going to do it off to the side here because I don't want to have it fall on my thing that's got acrylic paint that's drying and then have me go and brush it off and smush my paint everywhere. That would be silly. So just trimming little round corners. I don't need to worry about the bottom because we're not going to see that. But I do want to do a little bit of stamping on here. So remember I said we're going to do a little bit with the Hey Handsome Scrapbooking stamp set. And I've pulled out this one that says limited edition. I thought that would be kind of nice for this picture of my husband. There's only one of him, so he's a limited edition. And so I'm going to stamp this right on here. I'm going to use Paprika, which is one of the coordinating colors, and it's the color that's in that check that we already have on our page. So we're bringing in that color again. It's a nice contrast to the harbor as well. And so just going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it right near the top because I'm going to tuck it in behind my photo. So the bottom half of this is not really going to be seen. So I could even trim it off. I may do that. We'll see how it goes. So there, we've stamped that using the Paprika. Now let's check out how our acrylic paint is doing. I know that some of it is going to be covered up by my photo. So there we go. It's already dry. So we're good to go. We'll just be a little bit, nice to it for a moment or two. So I've got my photo here. I'm going to apply some adhesive to the back. I'm going to do that just off to the side here because just in case any of that is still drying, we'll give it a chance to do its thing. And now I just went and put adhesive right up near the top where I have to tuck things in. So I'm going to actually put a line that's lower. There we go. And I'll avoid taking the backing off of that. So this is going to sit here. I also want to bring from the sticker sheet, we've got our lovely sticker sheet over here. I want to bring, oops, there we go, one of these strips from the bottom that has all the arrows. Look at all these fabulous stickers on here. Aren't they awesome? So many different sentiments and sayings. I love this one, the man, the myth, the legend, like father, like son, just remarkable. So let's peel off one of these, kind of like a zip strip, but it's a sticker. And I'm going to stick this along here, right below the Picture My Life card, all the way across. So this is also going to give us that impression that our pattern paper is going all the way across because we have a strip going all the way across. I'm also going to, because I've just noticed it hits the edge, I'm going to distress the end of this as well so it blends in with what's happening on the edges of my page. You always got to think about that as you add new things, that whatever's on the edge should kind of blend in. Don't want it to stick out. You want it to blend. You want our photos to be the focal point, not something that's just out of place. So there we go. I love that. I actually really like the look of the harbor that's been distressed. And if you are looking through the catalog and you see the card making workshop kit for this collection, you will notice that there is a card that looks like denim, like jeans with a pocket on it. And that was made using harbor and using sandpaper. And you just run the sandpaper across one way and then across the other way. And it creates that look of, you know, old denim. Very cool. So let's go ahead and put our photo on here. And I'm going to line it up right along the zip strip-y type thing, just slightly down. So there we go. It's just going to be just above those arrows. And stick it down. And then I've got a couple of Picture My Life cards. So I've got this one that we've cut, and I'm going to have it kind of sticking up above the top. So I know that I can trim off some of this card because I don't need all of it. Bring in my little trimmer and chop. I could save that if I want and use it for something else. Let me grab some adhesive to put on the back of this. There we go. And this is going to tuck right under. So that's another reason why I don't like adding too much adhesive behind. I'm going to put it on a little bit of an angle just for fun, just so it looks like it's been tucked in behind there. And then I've also got a spot for some journaling. And this is a little Picture My Life card that has words of wisdom on it. I don't really want the words of wisdom the other way. It's like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn it around and decide how I want it. And I'm going to trim that bottom part off. And so I could actually use that for a second project if I wanted. So I'm going to trim it so it's got that whole section at the bottom that says words of wisdom, which I could use again for something else. And then this piece, I can add some adhesive to it. And we're going to tuck it under the bottom edge of our photo so that we can have a nice little journaling spot. And it's a little bit juxtaposed from where the tag is sticking up from the top. And I'm just deciding where to put it because I'm adding something else as well. So it's a little bit off-centered, which is nice. And I've got that top line just kind of peeking out there so that we can easily start on that top open space with our journaling. And then from the sticker sheet, I want to pull in this sticker, the original #1 Man of the Year sticker. And I want to add that right here on the side, kind of encompassing the journaling as well as the edge of my photo, just like that. Okay, so one more Picture My Life card we're bringing in here, and there's this one that says, "Hey, good looking," and we're going to add this here on the side, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to add a little bit more pattern in behind it. So I'm just going to take a look at my Picture My Life cards. I don't know about that one. That might be, that's a maybe. Then we've got this one, which is nice and bold. I kind of like that. That nice little bold hit. Yeah, that's looking kind of nice. So that's a maybe. And then let's see. These ones are already a good size because they're pretty close. We've got a stripe, but I'm not really feeling the stripe. I don't want ones with words. I really do want to use this on something. The most wonderful thing I decided to do was share my life and heart with you. That's definitely going to get used at some point. We've got this stripy one. Yeah, so I think it's one of these two. And I'm actually kind of leaning towards the green, which will bring in the color from the zip strip, or the sticker strip there. So the way that I can do this, these cards are exactly the same size, but we have some leeway around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim a little bit off of each side of this card. So let's just give it, let me see, how much can I trim? I'm going to do that. We're going to take 1/4 inch off each side. Just like that. And that will be down there. Hey, good looking. There we go. And then I can go ahead and center that on there. Yes, I'm liking that. We can add this on top. I love how these colors all kind of work together. They're a nice feel. They're all very saturated colors. Even the mink, I know it's a light color, but it's a saturated color. And then it's not wishy-washy, right? You know that it's gray when you just go ahead and look at it. All right, so we can go ahead and add this. Another thing about this layout is I'm keeping it very flat, although I am going to add some embellishment to it, which is going to give it a little bit of depth, but It's mostly been flat. I haven't used any foam tape to pop anything up. So this one, I'm going to kind of have it a little bit higher up so that it's a little bit covering my photo, and it's kind of creating a stair-step effect here, going from one thing to the next, which is nice. We've kind of got that same thing happening over here, so that's something to keep in mind. So we've got horizontal things, we've got diagonal things, and then we've got sort of this parallel line happening this way too. And that's good to have on a layout. You want to have some variety. It helps your eye to kind of move around the page and take some time to look at things, because it's not just going, oh, that's boring. Your brain goes, oh, that's interesting. So then we also have the Hey Handsome acrylic shapes. There's fun stuff in here. We've got top hats and mustaches and glasses and arrows and buttons and stars. And there was a tie and a bow tie and a bunch of other things. Some of them we've already used. And I'm going to be using these 6 stars. And I was playing around with them during Chat and Craft, trying to get them how I wanted them. And what I really need is something big and round to help me. Because what I want to do is kind of lay them on here so that they kind of look like they're following a curve. Because I've got very square things happening here. And I think if I kind of make them look like they're following a curve, that would be an interesting look to them. And then I thought I would put another 3, because we like 3s, those odd numbers. Put another 3 down here in the opposite corner. So just like we had these 2 things happening opposite each other, we've got some stars doing some opposite things. But it's a little bit difficult to kind of eyeball a round shape. But I think I'm liking what's happening. I think it looks good with the splatter. I wanted that splatter on there because these stars are very dark against a fairly dark background of the base page. And so there needed to be something there to lighten it up. Same with the sanding on the side. It's kind of lightening up all of the dark color. So I've got my little glue dots here. So we can go ahead and add some glue dots to our stars, like so. Maybe one more. There we go. And we can stick that on there like that. Very nice. And let me tell you, putting glue dots on is way easier than messing around with liquid glue. I just gotta say, it's so much quicker. Definitely. And you don't have to worry about it squishing around. And there we go. And then we'll come down here and we'll stick on these little stars. And I don't think that the layout needs really any more decoration than this. It's, you know, it's a masculine one. There's a lot of texture and things happening in the photo. So it doesn't need a whole lot of stuff otherwise. It just needs a little something. So there we go. Another star. And one more. Couple of glue dots. And there we go. Those stars are very pointy. I can feel it. Poking my finger. Nice and crisp. Alrighty. So, other than my journaling, that is what I'm doing for this layout. Keeping it fairly simple, but nice little hits of interest. We've got our base page. We're using the back side of the harbor. We did the technique of sanding the edges, then adding some splatter with that white acrylic paint in various places. We kind of created 3 areas where there's some splatter. And then we also took that Picture My Life card and extended it right across the page by cutting it and then pulling it apart and filling in the gap with our photos and other items. Then we've even stamped on one of our Picture My Life cards and tucked it in behind. We've got our other card that we cut and added in for our journaling spot. We've got sticker strips and stickers and other Picture My Life cards that we've layered up to give it even more texture and design. I like how the little design in this pattern kind of picks up the little, nubbly bits of things that are happening in the garden here. And I also liked, this is what I was kind of doing when I was deciding which things to use. The plaid here kind of made me think of, there's lines here with this bench and they kind of crisscross. And then also the brickwork on the side of the building. And it kind of tied in with this plaid. So that's kind of where my brain went when I was looking at that. And then, of course, adding our little acrylic shapes to just kind of add a bit of a curve to an otherwise fairly squarish, rectangular-ish layout. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that come together. I hope you're inspired to use your Picture My Life cards. I find that I hear people say, oh, I bought them, but then I didn't know what to do with them. So I hope that inspires you and you pull them out and create with them. And add in a few other little things. I'm excited. Michelle has been telling us the last 2 days about all the splattering that she's doing. So I thought we'd better throw some splatter on there. And have a wonderful rest of the afternoon. Take a look at the challenges and the games that have been posted. One more game's going up at 6 o'clock this evening. And then we'll be back on at 7 o'clock for Chat and Craft. And feel free to pop in and spend a little bit of time crafting online with us. We'll see you then. Toodaloo. Bye.